Niseke. Nya be ya mere ha. Ali tipo sa guji agba. Na be pe mere ha. Ama na men no. Men are good to go. Tani yo buni go mere haru. Otu ha mon. Mpana go di shoe. Nya shoe ha yi no ko di sin. Shoe. You wouldn't go about it, wouldn't go back to the Abacas. But men are good to go. Yeah, shoe the ampa, yeah, boot. Boot to the air. Put to the among the super shoe and Panabelto, huh? Let's shoe her, let's shoe her. Let's shoe her, the singing ampa. I wouldn't go to the among Pantabelto, huh? Habe my Pancabo sobra. Pancabo sobra. Pancabo sobra. Men are good to go. Put your mom. Then I know. I should know. I know. Pancabo, I know who are there. I know who are. People. Put your mom. In our water. That is a shoe, huh? Land it to her mom. Barbara Pena. But men are good to go. Passing all there, man. I ain't know Barbara. You can't your boot. They say shoe. I believe that one walkers in the walkers in the good year. How about that? Men are good to go. Men are good to go. Barbara. Over how the Shanina. Apa? I believe the Cassia. Oh, my question. And I said, about 20 years, has it? The Sapa. The Sapa, you were winning on the Cassia. That's Anya. And a good year. In a woman. In a woman. About Julina. That's Anya. First talking, sir. With Hamon. Men are good to go. Some apples use some aja. With Aja Red. Let's see, in a woman. Abara. I got starboard videos. Men are good to go. Who's ever loaded? Who's ever loaded?
I am now born of the soil. Word of your son. I take your own son. Maybe my friend and your governor, Charles Soludo, should find me a plot of land for my retirement home. You don't have to move me from the villa for only 1 week. Give me a permanent abode. I'll say, it is well with Anambra. It is well with Nigeria. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. May our fighting men and women see victory. We will counter insurgency. We will defeat them. I assure you, this country is blessed. Anambra is part of it. Anambra is rising, and we will rise together.
This is 2025, and not 1990 something. Even another 2025. Undi ba nkala such mini under Iji local government. Undi ba nkala mini there. Imagine. Imagine, Nanya. Let me madana. People go come here and fetch the water and drink. They go use and bath, use and cook, use and wash small pikin face. Onye nwe go bulo nwe jego ogota alum ya na palum. Obunyi nwe gi ejigota alum. Ibaru mmiri here. Igota alum wetinye na alum. Akwo ya akwo. Yala alum na akwo yodo. What I want to cover anwa ya. 2025.
All right, wonderful people. Welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back updates and information as see the hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news is dropping, you will be the first to collect it. All right, let's go down to the news proper as see the hot. A lot of lie people don't lie against the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile as regards his extradition from Finland to Nigeria. And they have forgotten that Finland is an European country. It's not like African country where you can bribe your way. Of course, you know that the NIG government bribed their way through Kenya to get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria. Remember that when Kanu was extradited from Kenya to Nigeria, there was a 100 million naira bounty on his head. And I think that those who helped to extradite him from Kenya, and up until today, Kenya has not been able to give account on how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extradited from their country to Nigeria, where he came for a diplomatic meeting. And also, he did not come through Nigeria. He was not with Nigerian passport. And how he was extradited from Kenya to Nigeria up until today, Kenyan government has not explained that. But all we know is that when Kanu was extradited, there was 100 million naira bounty on his head. And I believe that those who helped to extradite him took advantage of that bounty. But as it is, the AGF has said that there is no extradition process against Mazi Simon Ekpa. This is to counter what a lot of people have been saying, that Simon Ekpa is about to be extradited from Finland to Nigeria. Let's go down to that in particular information. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has denied reports that the federal government has commenced extradition proceedings against Simon Ekpa, a leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. All right, this is coming from the paper, but of course everybody knows that Simon Ekpa is the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile and not the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. In a statement issued by his special assistant on communication and publicity, Kamaruddin Ogundele, on Friday, the AGF said the report misrepresented comments he made at a stakeholders engagement held on Thursday in Abuja. The statement read, "The attention of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi San, has been drawn to media reports where he was erroneously reported to have said that the federal government had commenced an extradition process against Simon Ekpa. The report is untrue and a complete departure from what the AGF said at the stakeholders/citizens engagement forum held on Thursday in Abuja. Ekpa, a leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, this again is written by the paper, and I still correct that Simon Ekpa is the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, is currently standing trial in Finland for charges filed against him by the Finnish government. According to the statement, Fagbemi had only explained that the Nigerian government was in talk with Finnish authorities to ensure that Ekpa, who is currently facing trial in Finland, is held accountable for his actions. To set the record straight, what the AGF said during the question and answer session was that the Nigerian government had been engaging the Finnish authorities to ensure that Simon Ekpa is held accountable for his actions. He explained that since the crimes committed by Simon Ekpa were cross-border in nature, the Nigerian government eagerly awaits the outcome of the proposed trial in Finland to have an informed decision on the next step to take, the statement added. Fagbemi urged media to exercise caution in reporting on the matter and to refrain from publishing speculative claims. All right, this is coming from Fagbemi, the AGF of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Makandi Ashiri. Of course, you know that ndị be anyị sị na onye akpọrọ asị gbuo agụ ajụbọ bụ onye gburu, onye akpọrọ asị gbukwa na agwọ ụfọdụ ga-asị na ọ bụ eke ka ya bụ onye gburu. There is a lot of people who don't like Simon Ekpa because of what he stands for. There are a lot of people who don't like him because of what he represents. Of course, you know that bringing about the issue of activism, issue of secession, and the issue of freedom in a time like this, it is not an easy matter. It's one of the most Herculean tasks that one have ever seen. Of course, you know that in the world in general, the world has always attacked political activists, and not just people who are political activists in nature, but people who are bent on making sure that the right things are being done. If you watch what is happening in Nigeria today, you will agree with me that the reason why the nation have not become a better place is that the nation have not actually gotten a true political activist, one who will stand in the gap and say that he will make sure that the people will become a better people, one who will make sure that there is human capital development. Of course, you know that the best development and best capital you can build is what is called human capital. When you have human capital, you have all it takes to develop a nation. But as it is, Nigeria does not have human capital. The citizens are not equipped. The populace and the masses are not equipped, thereby bringing in more poverty. Recently, the federal government signed a NEL fund student loan, a loan that will help students in order to be able to prosecute their academic activities. But as it is, up until now, some students who filed for that student loan has not been able to get theirs. Even in some institutions, it has become issue of politics, whereby the VCs and the provosts, the vice chancellors connive with the SUG presidents and the SUG officials. When other students on the lower echelon are calling for their loan, you see the SUGs and their members saying that they have gotten. Okay, if you have gotten your own loan, how about other students? How about those who are the floor members? Why have they not gotten theirs? Of course, you can see that even the youth who are supposed to be the future of tomorrow have also soiled their hands in the corruption of the day, thereby making the nation a hard place to be. Now, a lot of people who hate Simon Ekpa does not hate him because he's Simon Ekpa. They hate him because of what he stands for, because he is there to make sure that the people of Biafra will regain their freedom. But there are a lot of people also who love him, people who understand what it takes to fight for freedom, and people who wants to be free. The same thing applies to the Prime Minister of the Biafra, to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Ohamadike, one of Ndi Igbo. And also, the same thing is taking place in Burkina Faso today, where a lot of people have risen against that man called Ibrahim Traoré because he have decided to stand up for his people. The world does not want a leader, especially in Africa, who will stand up for the people of Africa. The world wants people in Africa who will just, sit lackadaisically and watch African wealth, watch African mineral resources being, exported to other countries, exported to other countries. Of course, you know that these other nations, these other countries of the world are taking serious advantage of Africans, and they don't want Africa to rise up at all. They don't want Africa to see the future. They don't want Africa to be able to come to that point where they will be able to manage their mineral resources, where Africa will be able to stand up and speak for themselves. That is why what you see in Africa is a system of education that does not permit reflective inquiries. Reflective inquiries involve critical thinking, analysis, and critical thinking analysis. If you are able to become a critical thinker, someone who analyzes, you will be able to know what to do next. But the kind of education system that have been given to Africans is cramming system, where you cram everything in your brain and you end up not thinking critically. And that is why some education formations now are fighting to make sure that part of educational curriculum involves reflective inquiries, which involves critical thinking, analysis, and evaluation in order to help students to make informed decisions and participate in their democratic processes. All right, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain. And if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you for listening. God bless you.